Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
The World Heavyweight Champion.
All right.
Good morning. I hope that you all survived Christmas. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show. We are still in live tape mode. Some brand new live conversations coming down the next 2 hours. And it'll be that way until about January the 3rd. And we are back live in the studio with your daily dose of local news, sports, all that good stuff. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much for giving us a great year. And now another brand new episode of our daily show starts right now here on Riverbender. Get over here.com. Welcome back to our daily show. And, you know, we have had numerous press releases on RiverBender.com talking about Lewis and Clark as a whole, but also College for Life and this really great program. And I'm glad we get to talk about it a little bit more today. We got Niki, Jay, and Melissa in the studio. How are we doing this morning?
All right.
We're good.
Really cool.
I'm great. I'm great.
Well, Niki, thanks for stopping by and bringing the students so we can really talk about this. And right off the bat, let's dive in. How long have you been an instructor with the program?
So this is going to be my 4th year, going on my 5th year, but I've been with Lewis and Clark as a whole for 8 years.
Okay. How's the experience been?
Oh, it's great. They always joke at LC that I'm like the biggest Lewis and Clark cheerleader. I love LC. I love it for these guys. I love it for credit students. It's a great way to start off your education, I think.
100% over. And honestly, Lewis and Clark looks like more than a D3 university and all the grant funding, all the opportunities there.
Yes.
And the more we talk about, that's a great thing. And we get to talk about cool programs like College for Life. And Jay, you are the veteran in the room of College for Life. You've been there longer than Niki has.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the program?
It's fun. It's a nice program. I like it.
And what made you start the program?
Oh, I didn't want to stay at home.
Good answer right there. And what are some of the things that you've been able to do in the program, if you don't mind me asking?
I've been able to do art, coffee cart, and be on stage.
Really cool.
Yes.
And now the coffee cart's been a big hit throughout the campus, hasn't it? Like, that's been pretty much superstar status for you guys, hasn't it? From what I've heard.
Yes, it's really great. Can you tell them what you sell at the coffee cart?
Oh, we sell coffee. We sell Icy Joe's, coffee, and tea.
Really cool.
Yeah, and hot chocolate.
Yes, and we just want to give a really big shout out to Steve at Bunkhouse Joe's.
He's a great guy.
Who has made that possible for us for the coffee, huh?
Yes.
He's been really great. And tell him this really cool opportunity that you've got thanks to the coffee.
I got a scholarship.
Did you really?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
That's awesome. And I got to ask you, how many students are you guys serving through that coffee cart?
We serve the whole school.
Quite a bit. Do you have a big line every morning?
Yes. Yes.
And how long has the coffee cart been in operation?
So that's probably about two years now,
Okay.
right?
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years.
So yeah,
Really
Jay
cool.
got one of the coffee cart scholarships, and then tell him about what happened.
And I've worked with Mr. Joe on Saturday at Farmers Market.
That's really cool.
In Alton.
Well, and how great is it to say that, and honestly, Jay, like the College for Life program has given you the opportunity really to go out and be a part of the community and do things like that. That's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
It is. And now the farmer's market, though, Jay, is a big deal. There's a lot of people at that farmer's market.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a little longer line than school, huh? Yeah.
Now, I got to ask you, did all the training at Lewis and Clark prepare you for the work that you were going to do at the farmer's market?
Yes.
Yep, a good answer right there.
Yes.
Well, and Jay, we'll come back and talk here in a couple of seconds. But Melissa, I got to get to know a little bit about you too. How long have you been with the College for Life program?
4.
4 years. Now, I got to ask you, what's been the best part of being just in the program?
I've been making new friends because I don't normally have many friends.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. Well, and honestly, that's something that, being serious, I even have a struggle with because, I'm not a very, very outgoing person, believe it or not. Like, I talk into a microphone and that's fun, but I have a tough time meeting new friends. And ever since I left school, that's been the hardest part for me is trying to kind of find my group. And it seems like everyone really gets along in the program. Is that true?
Yeah, it is really true. And we are friends with students and teachers.
Really cool.
The teachers feel like friends and family than just normal teachers, honestly.
Is Niki doing a good job?
Yeah, she's a celebrity there.
She's a celebrity yourself.
People crowd her.
Well, and I got to ask you, what is some of the fun that you've had in the program? Have you been able to do some cool stuff?
Yeah, I've really loving doing the art program. I also had a class in the coffee cart. That was really fun, too.
What was your role in the coffee cart? Were you serving students, too?
Well, kind of, but I made some posters for them.
Really? See, I cannot make anything. I am not good at drawing, painting, printing. Are you pretty good?
Yeah, the thing is, I remember I made one poster by hand and then the other one on a phone.
Really cool.
Yeah, one was for Halloween. I made a little ghost.
That's awesome.
Holding like the coffee cart sign, didn't you? Yeah, with like a coffee, and he's like, it was so cute. We hung them around campus.
Well, and it seems like everyone's really good at working together and using their strengths and being a team to really get the word out on this too. Because honestly, the coffee cart, being all seriousness, has been one of the most talked about kind of things in press releases and stories, and I think it shows because of teamwork like this.
Yeah.
Really cool. And do you guys do field trips and stuff like that and get to go places, or is it mostly inside Lewis and Clark, Niki?
Yeah, so it's inside Lewis and Clark.
Okay.
It's hard to take everybody, right? Because we don't have a bus.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But just today, our healthy snacking class was walking over to Ruler Foods.
Really cool.
Yeah, to buy the ingredients for their class and purchase those together so they learn how to use the money and how to find where it's at the store. So they were just walking over there when we were leaving, weren't they?
Yes.
That's incredible. So. Well, and honestly, you get to do cool stuff like this and come on the show and talk about it,
Yeah, to tell more people of the really cool classes you guys get to take.
Well, and how long are you at school each day, guys, if you don't mind me asking? Do you know?
I'm there till 2:30.
About 2:30?
Yes.
I think I'm there from...
Probably, I think you're there from 9:30 to...
9:30 to 2:20.
Okay. Well, that's still a full day. And take me through some of the classes that you guys do, because this is where I think it's really cool. I mean, honestly, I've seen some of the pictures, and it just seems like we're learning and all of that, but we're also just having a lot of fun while we're doing it and just enjoying it too.
Yeah.
What are some of the classes you all do?
I've been doing this year. I'm taking the sewing class.
You are.
Really cool.
Yes.
That is awesome. What have you learned to sew?
Quilts.
No kidding?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Honestly, that's really incredible, Jay.
Yeah.
And then what else did you sew with Regina? Regina's our instructor for sewing.
Okay, gotcha.
So she's probably the sewing queen. I don't think
Good
anyone
job,
else could
Regina.
take. Regina could take that. But what else? So you did a quilt, and there was another project you guys did, didn't you? Or am I thinking of? last year. Probably last year. Last year they made bell-bottom pants.
That's
and,
really
it
cool.
It was, really
I wasn't
cool.
in the
Oh, yeah, you weren't in that one.
What? How big? What is it? A big quilt?
Yes.
That's
It's a
man.
nice size school.
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably about the size of that back thing right there.
Size that.
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty good size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Now, have you ever sewn before you took the class?
No.
So first time doing it.
Yes.
That's even more incredible too. And any other classes, Jay, that you've been taking?
Yeah. Criminal justice and self-advocacy and coffee cart.
That's incredible. And what have you learned in what have you learned in criminal justice? So I always wanted to be a lawyer, believe it or not. And then I realized that I'd have to go to school for a really long time, and I opted for media instead. What are you learning in criminal?
Crime.
And
how to solve crimes.
Really cool.
Yeah, so I teach that class, and we have a lot of fun with that. So we watch forensic files, and we take notes, and we collect the evidence along with the forensic files, and we try to solve the crime before they give us the answer, and then tell them some of the cool activities we've done. Do you want to tell them? About
We solved crimes about flowers and bones.
I'll elaborate. Bones and flowers, yeah. So we there's always a crime that happens on campus.
Okay.
And I get, which is so great. Again, a shout out to Lewis and Clark for all the different people I work with in different departments who always want to be a part of it. And so they have to solve a crime on campus, and the first one they had to solve was someone stole Blazer's dog treats.
Man, you guys catch them?
We did, and we found all the evidence we collected, and we found who the culprit was. And do you remember who it was?
And it was the.
Do you need me to remind you?
Yes. Dr. T.
I figured it was. It was.
It was him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He stole those doggy bones.
I just think that's really cool, and honestly, really great classes to learn about too. I mean, that's really important stuff. And then to honestly, Jay, be a part of the coffee cart and serving the students and all that, and being a part of that interaction, it's really, really important too.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm sure there'd be a lot of upset kids if the coffee cart wasn't walking or wasn't operational.
Yeah, he was just delivering some coffee today, going down delivering people coffee.
Awesome.
Deliver coffee today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just got off work.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm hoping I can get off of work here soon too. Melissa, what are some of the classes you've taken this semester?
Harry Potter.
So I saw this one, and I'm kind of jealous. This is the thing that kind of set off my intrigue, if you will. I saw this class, and honestly, how cool was that? Have you learned some spells and all of that too?
Yeah, we made a book that we wrote our stuff in, and just recently we made a schedule.
Really cool.
If we were at Hogwarts.
Now, are you a big Harry Potter person?
Not big, but big enough that I like the stuff in it. My aunt introduced me to it, so.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big Potterhead. I really am. I'm a Half-Blood Prince Harry Potter. Like, that is to me the best book and all that. But now, with that, what's your favorite part of the Harry Potter class? Is there a favorite spell that you cast, or what's your favorite part of the scheduling that you're able to kind of come up with?
I liked when we made the potions, actually.
Oh, really? What was that entailing?
Well, some of them were we could drink, and then some of them we made out of resin.
That's cool.
It was resin.
No.
Glue.
Okay.
Yeah.
But honestly, now did you have some? See, I would be the person in potion class that way over mixes something and has just not a good experience. Did that happen in potion class at all?
Kinda. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She put too much cinnamon.
Oh.
On accident.
Oh, yes. On the drinks that we were drinking, I forgot the cinnamon thing came open, and I took that drink. But it was like all this cinnamon, and I was like, ugh.
Do y'all have a moment to stick around so I can take a quick break?
Yep.
Yes.
We'll take a quick break here and come back with more of this great conversation. You stay there. We'll stay here right in studio on Roku TV and RiverBender.com.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not. I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
How that in Bethlehem was born the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Comfort and joy.
Welcome back, daily show.
Tidings of comfort.
College for life. You know, I think I might quit the job and try to join because this is too much.
You should. Great.
Well, it really does seem like, for everybody, because with college comes, and any schooling and education comes the stress level and factor, but whenever you're learning as a unit, and it seems like even as a teacher, you're learning as well, it seems like a really healthy way to grow in ways, Niki, that's not just, personally, but, also for community-wide, and this seems just like a really, comprehensive package of what education should really look like.
I totally agree with you. I mean, Lewis and Clark's mission statement is, encouraging students, and, that is what this program is basically
100%.
about. It is, I think, the core of what LC's mission statement is. Mm-hmm. And as a teacher, it is extremely rewarding to see them continue to grow as years to come. We have several who were very, very shy. Even Melissa included was very shy.
Oh, you aren't shy, Melissa.
And now, she's making friends. She's going to other places to do art.
Yeah.
She really wants to get her art out there, and she's such an amazing artist, And then you have Jay, who's, working at the coffee cart and, doing stuff for our community, which is so rewarding.
Well, and that's really what I think it's so important for the term community. That is community at its best, and really in all the right ways, too. Getting back into this, what's 2025 look like for College for Life? Is there anything coming down the pipeline that you guys are looking forward to, or any projects, plans?
We are looking forward to just making our program even better, and just getting more people to know about it. So we have another campus at Edwardsville. It's our Nelson campus. So we have about 180 students in College for Life.
Wow.
Divided between the two campuses.
Wow,
Yeah. So
that's incredible.
Then it really is. So we have our Nelson campus, and I just want to give that a big shout out because it's really cool. They have a Nell Cafe there where the students work and serve lunch.
Cool.
And I just found out they've served over 300 lunches to the Nelson campus.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
which
incredible.
is really cool.
Yeah.
And they also have a blog class that they're learning how to, do podcasts and like how to blog about things, which is really neat. And it's so cool seeing how then they take it and then do their own little spin as individuals.
Really cool. Well, and honestly, Niki, you're right. It's all across the board throughout Madison County, and the more that we highlight and talk about this, number one, the better it gets for the program, but also the better it gets for our community because we have so many great organizations like Challenge Unlimited that help provide those employment opportunities, and we talk about that on the show all the time, and how important that is, and how there's a growing need for jobs, and I mean, this goes a heck of a long way in the grand scheme of the big puzzle, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it truly is.
It really is, and I just want to people to know because they see people with adults with disabilities and sometimes people don't approach them and the only thing they all really want to be is included.
Right.
Don't we all though? We all want to be included, just like Melissa was saying, like friends, even you after school. It's so hard to meet people and to be friends, and I just wish people saw them the way I see them, just as these beautiful individuals who once you talk to them and interact, you're just like, wow.
Yeah, we're having some fun. I mean, this has been great, honestly. Well, and Jay, what are your do your classes change when the semester rolls over?
Yes.
So what's the spring semester look like? Are you taking any new classes?
Do you remember what you're taking?
I don't even remember what I had for breakfast.
Schedule.
That's okay that you didn't.
I don't even know what I had for breakfast today, Jay. Melissa, do you know any of the classes that are coming up for you yet?
I'm going back to it in the fall because I'm going to be focusing on art in the spring and the summer.
Really cool. What are you going to be just kind of at home or going to going to different places and doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically,
Take your time.
Yeah.
There's a building in my town where there's like an art classes I'm going to try to do.
Really cool.
Yeah, she wants to get her art out there, so she's taking a semester off, which a lot of our students do, and then they come back in like fall or spring.
Yeah, really cool. And now, do you have what's your big plan? What's your goal with it? Do you hope that that you just get to keep featuring your art up there this spring?
So he wants to know what your goal is with your art. Like, what do you want to try to accomplish?
I want to one day make money with my art.
Yeah, great goal. Well, and honestly, it seems like just from here, I mean, if you can do the digital side of things and you can use your talents, like your artistic talents and drawing and paint, you're off to the races. That's so incredible. Well, and that's what I think's really cool is that it really showcases what life's about. Because in college, I think that's always been a little bit of my disconnect with it because in jobs and careers and all this stuff that, I've been able to do in 7 years in media, I realized that not everyone's on the same schedule, not everyone's on the same path, and not everyone has the same stuff going at home. And to act like we do that is kind of digressing to growth. It doesn't really help. So to have a thing where we're all growing together, have different strengths and weaknesses and different interests, that's how all school should be.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, It's just a simple equation. That's to me anyway what it should be like. Yes. Jay, if someone asked you, Jay, if I came up to you tomorrow, and let's say we didn't meet today, so we got to pretend this didn't happen. And if I asked you, I said, Jay, I want to join College for Life. Why should I join the program? What would you tell me?
Because College for Life is fun. You get to meet lots of friends and learn new things.
Really cool. That's the best. Honestly, that's the best commercial you could give anybody.
Really, yeah.
Melissa, do you have anything you'd like to add to what Jay just said to that?
I don't know.
Honestly, he did such a good job. I wouldn't have had anything to say either. Yeah. Well, and Niki, for folks that are interested in College for Life, and this is where the big drive factor for me comes in, because the more folks we can get to talk about this and be a part of it and help support it, let's do it. You know? How can someone look into College for Life? How do we know if it's going to be right for us, whomever we're representing, all of that good stuff?
Yeah, so we have a really great website on Lewis and Clark's.
Do you?
Yes, so it is www.lc.edu, and I believe it's just /College for Life. And that kind of explains what our program is. Rosie Ellington is the program coordinator for the whole program. She is amazing. We love Rosie, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
Makes good macaroons.
She makes good macaroons?
Yes. She bakes really well. And she is just all for College for Life, isn't she? She just wants the best for all of that.
That is the website. See, I pull up on the fly pretty quick.
Yeah.
Look at that. And you can learn more about College for Life, folks. This is such an incredible thing. And again, it just shows you why community colleges are so important. And the opportunities, and it's not because my dad teaches there or whatever, and I played there and there's history. It's the fact that Lewis and Clark is a good school.
It really is.
It's just for what all that you can get out of Lewis and Clark from any sector of education and trades and vocation. It's well worth the 2 years, because so many times I know kids that went off to that big D1 college and then not even 2 months later they were back home, and it could have just started a lot easier by going to Lewis and Clark and maybe getting the kinks out that way.
I see it all the time. I work in another department besides with these sweeties. I work in a student success center.
Okay.
So, and I have my degree in graphic design from Lewis and Clark and all of that, and I see it all the time when tutoring students. They didn't do well at that D1, 4-year university, fresh out of high school, and they're like, oh, I didn't know nobody was going to pressure me to get my homework in, and then it happens all the time.
Well, and before I let all of you go, we were taping the shows ahead because I actually got a little bit of a vacation, and this is aired on the 26th. But I got to ask everyone in the room, what are your holiday plans? Do you all celebrate Christmas? Do you guys have any traditions that you want to share? Because mine, honestly, is I have to take like a whole weekend and I just don't move from my couch, look at the TV, and I just watch Christmas movies for 3 days. That's mine.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, I celebrate Christmas with my family.
Really cool.
Yes.
That's really cool. Melissa, what do you celebrate?
Yeah.
With the family too?
Yep.
What's your favorite Christmas cookie? This is my tough question for you, Melissa. Do you have a favorite cookie for Christmas?
My aunt's cooking.
Oh, honestly, that's fair to go. Jay, let me ask you, do you have a favorite Christmas cookie, favorite Christmas dessert or food?
Pie.
Oh, good call. My cousin Leanne always makes chocolate pie. 9 times out of 10, it never turns out worth a darn, and we gotta throw it out. The last couple, though, have looked okay. We're hanging in there. With that being said, you can learn more by going to lc.edu/academic-programs/college-4-life, and we'll link everything in an article on RiverBender.com. And Niki, Jay, and Melissa, thanks for hanging out with me today.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. This was great. You're welcome back anytime. Come back and we'll keep promoting and get more people to join College for Life.
We really appreciate that.
More Daily Show will hit you right around this commercial break on, this December morning. I forget which one. The 26th, I believe, is when this is airing, right here on RiverBender.com.
Yes.
Get over here, Roku TV.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
There we go. All righty, welcome back into our daily show as we are wrapping up 2024, looking ahead to 2025 and all the sights and sounds that brings into the fray of things. Lee Cox, we are living.
We are living with colds, but we are living. And I don't think we've ever done a January event right after the first of the year, because for years they had the big New Year's event first night out at Lewis and Clark,
right?
And the
I
theater,
remember that, yeah.
And the theater participated
That's
for
right.
years and years and years.
That was a fun event.
Oh, it was a fun event. You stayed up all night and then went out for breakfast, and we had just all kinds of fun. But because we did that, and I guess just because of weather concerns back when we had bad weather, we're not going to have any bad weather now, but we would maybe do a show towards the very end of February, something like that. This was a little lull down.
Yeah.
But we decided we wanted to sing in the new year, just really started out with a bang. And so again, this man that I just met is so charming, but
you never know what could happen in life. No,
I did a concert with him, and I totally fell in love with him. Tell your wife it's okay, but I won't. I won't tell you.
She knows.
But I mean, he's just so charming. And then he sang to me, and it was like the Pied Piper. I was like, okay, I gotta get it back. I gotta get it back because I've always wanted to sing, and if someone sings right next to me, I can stay on key. Otherwise, not. But I so admire people who can sing, and this man can sing.
And
Thank you very
have
much. I like to joke that I'm like a cockroach. Once you get me, I'm hard to get rid of. So surely you'll be seeing me on your stage quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to this a lot.
Well, and now too, how many tickets have sold for this already?
Not enough.
There's where you come in. We are on a streak, darn it.
A goodly number, and Thomas knows. I mean, we had fun with the Best of the Best Broadway. We did 2 intimate concerts both days in the foyer, and we had, all kinds of wonderful food and drink, but it sort of depends. We want it to be intimate, so we would like to sell a lot more tickets. I mean, we can do it in the foyer. It will be wonderful. Eric will be there. We're going to have cake and champagne this time.
There you go.
Officially welcoming Eric on as the new executive director. And I think they do love seeing, your face up close and the stories, he can tell and things like that. But, of course, the theater has some plumbing issues right now, so we would like to sell a lot more tickets.
You know how I knew about that? Because one's family business was over at your place the other day.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say you're always in
Call
the know,
Rigdon.
but how did you
Call
hear?
Rigdon.
We had to rent the Taj Mahal of mobile potties. I cannot tell you how gorgeous these things. I guess they have them for weddings that are out in the barn or something.
Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, everybody just wanted to go out there and try the mirrors out and everything. But
it's not a car.
It might as well be $2,700 for 4 performances.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
I added a few words onto that.
He had nothing to do with it, I don't think, Tom.
So we're gonna get it fixed. But meanwhile, we're just gonna keep singing our hearts out and playing our hearts out.
I swear, I'm not even lying. I almost called you the other day, but I was sitting there. My grandpa goes, "Man, Alton Little Theater's got a problem on their hands," and I went, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, you better talk about them and tell on the air and say they need to get some donations going
little
for
crowdfunding.
We'll get it done."
Well, we just had wonderful donations donations from the annual
Did you
giving
really not
and our
be
patrons.
good.
So and I understand we're not a real moneyed community. We've talked about this, but this was a little bit like the sinkhole for us. This was our own little.
It's
sinkhole
devastating
because the entire parking lot has to be torn up.
Yeah.
It goes 200 feet of new pipe has to be laid. That's a little pricey, but he's going to help us.
Thomas,
and all these wonderful
no
people.
pressure.
Love to help.
Literally no pressure.
Oh, none at all. I never have any
Only
pressure.
80,000 to go. No, but with that being said, I'm a big fan of opera. The Edwardsville Opera. Edwardsville does a great Christmas opera show. But I really think the most talent, you really know someone's talent as a singer, because we all have auto-tune now and we can all use a microphone and manipulate it, but a real singer is an opera singer, because you guys are going through the true exercises of a vocal cord.
Oh, absolutely, and it's a totally different beast. Operatic singing versus Broadway singing. I grew up singing Broadway tunes and things like that, as many American artists do, but training your operatic voice is like, it's a lot like powerlifting. You lift a little bit every day, you get that strength and things like that. And then it's crazy to think back in the past. There was no microphones, there was no amplification whatsoever, except for the design of the stage. So that's such an incredible challenge, especially nowadays, because the instruments are totally different than they were back then too.
Yeah.
They're much louder, they can put a lot more forward, but so that's the thing. I've trained in that. That's why we want to get into the theater, because that'll fit my voice a little bit better.
Yeah.
The foyer is great, but I'd love to be in that.
But he blew it away. I mean, this man, he's standing this far from the microphone, and he's, belting
Still
it out.
feeding
And
back.
the
I'm
girls,
like,
the young teenage girls, they're like, right up there at the microphone.
Well, it's just the history of opera is very fascinating as well, and just I don't want to say the struggle, but god dang, the trials of an opera performer when it was truly opera back in the day is just incredible to kind of read through. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen those?
Oh,
I mean, what
absolutely.
Absolutely. And I adore opera, but just so the listeners know,
Lee is not the
Yeah, we're not pushing that because our folks tend to like Broadway.
You know what, though?
And they like films. And this man has a repertoire like you wouldn't believe. And stories.
Can you throw out some Pavarotti, though, like for your go-home? Like maybe your encore. Your encore is the opera there.
Oh, yeah. Whenever I do these shows, whenever Lee contacted me about the January 4th show, I thought it was brilliant because I've been doing similar style shows in the Litchfield area, just in local churches and stuff like that, and things like that, just bringing that kind of thing. And Broadway style music is always a great love of mine, especially because there are so many deep characters that you can really get into.
Right.
And that's going to be the whole point of the show, is just really showing how many different characters are out there. And I like to say, just because I'm a character specialist, have you ever wondered what happened if Luciano Pavarotti, Danny Kaye, and who was the other person I said? Mel Brooks. If they had a baby, you won't know unless you come to the show. Just because I love bringing in characters. I always have a little bit of funny stuff. I try to throw in at least a little bit of my operatic stuff. Like, hey, here's what I really specialize in. But I have such a deep love for Broadway music. It's so much fun, and it's so
big
accessible.
shows that we still hope we get to do Chicago. But I was so glad you did Mr. Cellophane. I was so glad we did Phantom of the Opera. And again, Secret Garden is not my favorite musical, but you and Eric just brought tears to my eyes. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, I had actually never seen Secret Garden until I started actually learning that piece, because Eric suggested it to me. He goes, there's this beautiful guys duet. Take a look at it, see if you'd want to do it. And I fell in love with it on my first listen through. It's so good. So I was like, cool.
And they hadn't sung together for 20 years.
Yeah,
and then
20
just
years.
got up there. I mean, that's like people who can sing. They just get up there and say, let's harmonize and do this song.
Yeah, just like riding a bike.
That's right. Hey, you guys have the opportunity on the 4th of January at 2 p.m. for a musical journey through Broadway's
And it's a Saturday, not Sunday, because they're used to Sunday matinees.
They are used to that. It is on a Saturday. Broadway's finest from the golden age to today's contemporary hits. The one-of-a-kind performance promises to lift your spirits. And I'm used to Eric now. And Thomas will be there to lift your palates, your musical palates, to the highest degree. And Thomas, what are you going to box this if you could preview it for us? Like if you could grade your performance ahead of time, what are you going to give yourself?
Oh, if I had to rate my performance, characterization, 10 out of 10, 100%.
I love this. Okay, now we're getting in the weeds here.
He is. He's
vocal
telling you
styling,
the truth.
vocal styling, I'd give myself a good solid 8.5
There you
because I'm certainly not the best singer in the world.
Oh hell no! When
but,
someone says that, that's when they
In
blow
the
you away.
Riverbend
Yeah.
region.
But you know it. If I had to give myself the highest praise I could, I would say that you'd be hard pressed to find a person who is as dedicated to music and their craft as I am. I worked, I've had a job since I was 16. Thankfully, my wife and I finally got to the point where it was like, look, I've got to do this music thing full time. I have the opportunity. Things are going well. Performances are happening. I've got to focus everything. And she goes, okay.
Wow.
That's fine. Didn't even think a second thought of it. And it's like...
Man, you lucked out.
Oh, my gosh. Marrying my wife is hands down the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Good, and you are getting some points today.
Oh yeah, and also lucking out and buying my house in 2019 at a 2.6%.
Oh hey, don't no
rate.
hey!
That's
number
2
you
for me.
throw that out because I was at 7.2. I don't want to hear none of that. That is fighting words right in this studio.
Hey, that was the second best decision I've ever made in my life. But
if this is how your show goes, I'm in. Like I'm 100% in.
Oh yeah, and it's just gonna be a grand old time, starting from like the golden age of like, oh my gosh, Harold Hill and characters like that, all the way up to things like Sondheim and even like some really, really modern stuff that has come out very, very recently that I can't necessarily name drop at the moment, but...
Are we Hamiltoning up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. I didn't know what the rules were, so...
He can say it.
Okay.
I can say it.
He guessed.
Yeah, that's true.
He did.
And it was a very good guess.
He absolutely did. And my final piece is always kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's how I ended the last one.
Yes.
So it's always a little bit tongue-in-cheek. You'll be back. that whole kind of thing.
And it's so perfect now. It is so incredibly perfect.
Well, what I think's so cool is, though, I mean, it's great to see performers of all kinds entertaining folks across the Riverbend region, but I think it's a really good testament, Lee, to what your mission statement's been, and that's providing really good quality entertainment with these extra entertainment series shows, such as Sing in the New Year, because, I mean, yeah, it'd be one thing to have, like a cover band down there, and it's okay. It'd be one thing to have a cover band out there and maybe, playing some tunes, but when you have somebody with the background, the tenure, and then the knowledge, I mean, plus the personality, because I don't think there is a stick anywhere close to you, I mean, you're a pretty nice guy.
Yeah,
so,
thanks.
I mean, it makes for a really cool opportunity for folks to kind of just get immersed into this in a different way and not maybe, start the new year off watching the news for a couple hours and just going and having some fun.
Yep.
Even your charm comes on your Facebook. CJ knows I am not a Facebook person. The only reason I do it is because of the grandkids and a few other people. But, I thought, I'm going to add him because I need to see what he's up to. First of all,
pretty fun, huh?
You post a lot. I'm like, oh my God.
Good
he's
for
here,
you. I can't do that.
He's here. But it was so entertaining. I'm laughing.
I can't do any of that.
Michael's
See, that's
like,
good.
You're laughing at something on Facebook?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just, I didn't have a Facebook for 5 years. And then
Did you get banned?
No, no.
Okay.
This was, no. I
he's
avoid
not
that kind of
naughty
stuff
like
in
me.
public life just because it's so far from my art.
right.
It's just like,
Yeah.
But I exited Facebook for 5 years or so just because I never used it. Then I started pursuing music full time, and I'm like, man, I've really got to get back on here. And then over the past, it was like, I've got a show here and there, but then this past couple of months, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm posting every day, and I don't even need to, but I'm just I'm just posting all the stuff I've got going on, which is so wonderful. I mean, it's good to keep me busy because it keeps me from playing with matches,
Well, and Eric
good way
has
to look
all
at life.
kinds of... Eric is the extraordinary. promoter, and he's like, I need to tell him. He needs to not tell after the fact, but this and this. I'm like, okay, you tell him when you see him.
Are you going to use matches for your show?
No, no pyrotechnics this time. That might be a little bit down the road, but
smoking at the theater. See, I'm old enough to remember people used to smoke during the play.
With Salem's or Winfields?
I just can remember.
Well, I mean, I couldn't even do that because my lungs are just weak because I am a smoker recovering. I am in recovery.
Me too, brother.
Hey, I'm on day 0, but I'm still trying.
Go for it, brother.
You were on day 0 the last time I saw you. No, you were on day 3 the last time I saw you.
I got to day 13 and I had a little bit of a meltdown. I could have literally been like Britney Spears in 07.
Lord.
I was close to walking into Great Clips that day. And I ruined it. But in all seriousness, to be a part of this is a great opportunity, folks, to grab. I do get paid to do a job and talking to a microphone. To grab your grandkids, bring your friends, and bring your loved ones. $25 tickets. That's really affordable. How long is the show?
It's going to be an hour.
Nice.
Yep.
That's a good, and you get refreshments.
Solid entertainment, yeah. And then,
That's
and then
are you sure you don't want to charge more?
Actually, come close and
yes,
he does have a presence to him. I mean, you're gonna feel it. You know. Now you aren't gonna charge more for this with the entertainment and drinks. You should. I mean, honestly, this is really cheap.
Do you know where we live?
I love you, Lee. We'll take a quick break. More Theater Thursday rolls around the corner next in the heart of the 618.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe, rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Thomas will be performing this as his opening number. He probably could.
Yeah, well, that is one fun aspect about my show is that, there's a lot of great men's pieces out there, but there are so many women's pieces that are so much fun.
You know why I love Elvis, seriously? Because he took some of those women's songs that they did and he made them his own. And I thought that those were good. Like, I mean, it's just like...
I was over Little Mermaid until you did Ursula's song.
Yeah, that's
I
so
am telling
cool.
you.
Poor Unfortunate Souls is so fun.
I was holding my sides. I was chuckling so much. It was perfect.
Oh yeah, well, and I love it. I like getting into that character. I think of Ursula, since I'm playing it as a guy. He's kind of like the sleaziest used car salesman you've ever met in your life.
Yeah.
Like even the whole line, "I'm quite a busy man, and I haven't got all day. It won't cost much, just your voice." It's like, oh, I love it. Such a fun character to play.
It was.
Well, you got to have fun doing it too, because if you don't have fun, they aren't going to have fun. You know?
Exactly. And I used to do a lot of serious pieces in college. I still do, but I would have trouble because I'd be like smiling through the whole time because I'm just having a grand old time just presenting what I've got. And, and so it's one of those things. I've always known I was going to be an actor because I've always felt the most comfortable on stage. It's it's just always been my thing.
Well, with that being said, your performances are a little bit different, because obviously, with ELO, you drink a little bit, go on stage and sing Evil Woman. But with what you're doing, you have to truly get into that role. I would assume so, to really get the point across of the song and get the cadence of it. How do you do that because you aren't doing one song, one style throughout the whole show. You're switching on the fly.
Oh yeah, I'm switching on the fly.
What's that
look
like? How do you get into it so quick?
Well, a lot of it, just so much of my acting ability comes from the ideas of method acting. Daniel Day-Lewis is one of my great acting idols. But so much of it is throughout my entire childhood, I've always just had things running through my head, whether it's a song, whether it's a character, or something like that. So it's just that constant immersion into those individual characters. Eventually, it becomes almost so second nature to live in that character's space that it's become easy for me over time to literally just, drop my head for a second, pull it back up, and be into that mind space.
Just a few gestures. See, as someone who's grown up around stars a lot, I know that's what it takes to be able to do that. You don't even need the whole costume and everything. It's just a few gestures.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And for the actor, it's all in the mind. Whether, like say for example, I'm doing You'll Be Back. I imagine myself with the crown, with the scepter, with everything.
The whole thing.
Just I imagine myself in the fancy knickerbockers. It's the whole thing. And
it's the funniest song in the show.
Absolutely.
Well, and it really is. It's really cool because you're giving folks an opportunity to have something different. We can go to any bar in town on a Saturday and Sunday and a Friday night and listen to good cover bands. But to really have this opportunity to be immersed in some of the favorite hits in a way that it's like, man, I really hope that he, does this number, because that could be that kind of crown jewel that day for somebody, and you never know what day they're having. And it's just moments like that, those little victories for a community. That's cool, man.
Exactly.
And even people who probably say, I don't think I'll ever see Phantom, or I don't ever think I'll see
Here's your chance
Hamilton.
To hear pieces.
They do feel like, well, I got a little bit of it. I know what it
was
about.
Me doing a Lee Cox impersonation. I said Hamilton.
Yeah, and that is...
that was funny.
And that is one thing that is about my shows, too. There is really something for everybody. There's a lot of really silly stuff, to keep everything nice and light. Everything is real nice and clean, so it's nice and available for the children. And there are some serious things. There are some characters that I love to get deep into to really show the pain that can really come from a complex character.
Well, and now let me ask you about that, because this is to me, I love the production of a show, because that's what really makes and breaks it. And it could be the easiest process in the world, or it could be the most intricate process that you've ever created. When it comes to a show like this that's for all ages, but you still want to take them on a little bit of a roller coaster emotionally, how do you phrase it? Is it just going through your palette and your encyclopedia of knowledge of songs and pieces that maybe would be appropriate for maybe that downturn, that serious moment for those little kids?
A lot of it, it's for the longest time setting up shows, it was just like, well, what do I want to see? What would entertain me? And so much of it is, something real nice and big in the beginning, hook the audience in real quick, show a little bit, and then kind of slow down just a little bit, with something kind of mediary, and then, kind of get into the really deep stuff, and then, kind of come back out into a happier mode. It's just that's, in classical story writing, that can be very much the thing. You go through the story, you get the exposition, you get the happy, here's the family, here's the journey that family takes, here's some bad stuff that happens. But at the end of it, everything comes out okay, and you end up coming out smiling. It's one of those things.
It's really good. Well, and it's just really fascinating to hear that too, to get to know a little bit more about the artists behind the performance too. And Lee, how great has it been to really add on these type of shows? Because you really have this year made it a big focus to add stuff throughout the year, and it's not easy to do that. But with folks like Thomas, it kind of makes it easy.
Well, and this year it has been magical. So I thank the universe. I do thank God, because we did not know everything he was going to sing, and I had 13 other singers from 15 on who were also going to do Broadway songs, and nobody sang the same thing.
Wow, that's impressive.
We almost did. Fun fact, I was originally planning on doing Bring Him Home, but Eric did it. Okay. So I'm like, no problem. I got like 8 others I can pull out. No problem.
I was really surprised because I thought you would do it, and he did a wonderful job.
It was a wonderful job.
I see his Bobby Deere, and so I did not anticipate he was going to do that heavy kind of number.
Oh, yeah. He did a wonderful job.
Who'd you listen to growing up?
Oh, growing up,
who didn't you listen to growing up?
Who didn't I listen to is a really good question.
Just talking to you, I feel like that was a better one.
Oh, yeah. What was heard most in my house was Elton John and Billy Joel.
Really?
Yes.
Are you a Vienna Billy Joel, or are you an Uptown Girl Billy Joel?
I'm an Uptown Girl Billy Joel.
Okay, that's fair.
Guy.
See, I like Vienna.
I enjoy the Vienna stuff, but Uptown Girl is just such a jam of mine. Mm-hmm. Moving Out is so much fun.
I'm a 2-timer now for Billy Joel. 2-timer. I've seen Billy Joel twice, and you know what? Same. It's good. It's really good.
My mother and father went and saw Elton John and Billy Joel a lot, and here's one thing that they absolutely loved about their shows. If they say they started at 7, if you showed up at 7:05, Elton was already 3 songs deep.
Yeah.
They started right at 7.
Very
and I
disciplined,
love it. And it just, I think that shows a lot of respect for the audience.
I hate that diva crap where it's they're 45 minutes or it's 3 hours. No one's worth waiting 3 hours to go see anymore with YouTube. Mm-hmm. I can watch you for free at any time I want. So here's my money, take it, let's do a good show.
Yeah. Exactly. And as performers, we truly are nothing without our audience.
Well, sure, we can be show. What the hell? I could be talking to 0 people. I wouldn't get paid.
Right. And we can be, and there are a lot of artists who have no desire to be in front of an audience, and that's fine. But for me personally, the audience is so quintessential to who I am as an artist. So I always want to treat them like they're my family.
That's a good point too for the audience. Not to cut you off, but I've always said this to audience because doing pro wrestling, it's so much harder to do a show with 20 people than there is with 400 people because you can find somebody in 400. You can't find anybody in 20, in a parking lot in Marion. So it's like, for the audience, though, I think there's, I don't want to say there's procedures, but I think it's good for an audience to know that folks are feeding off of you. And if you go in and you have that sourpuss look on your face and you look miserable, you're going to drain some folks that are performing for you.
Yeah,
pretty quick.
You can absolutely live or die by an audience. We've all kind of done the
devil taking
Oh my god!
Yes. Oh my god! It's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah,
oh my god! The worst feeling.
Oh yeah! I actually had a joke that didn't land this weekend at a show,
God
and it's a hilarious joke, and I've been telling it everywhere, and it was the first time it didn't land, and I'm like, ooh, that's awkward.
Where do we go from here?
I'm like, alrighty, moving on. Okay, here's my next number.
Oh my god! I mean, it really is something. I don't, not to lecture the audience, but it's always good to know that as an audience member that you're just as important to the show as that performer is.
Yeah. Well, and one thing I hope that audiences will take from me is how much I absolutely love them. I look at people coming to my shows as coming to the nonna's house for dinner.
Yeah.
Here, let me make you something that you know that I made love doing it.
I like it.
Like I threw as much love in it as I can to give it to you just for you. And that's what I would love to hope that the audience gets out of my shows, is how much I appreciate them and want to entertain them, because that's my whole reason for being here.
And the way that the show lines up with the date of January the 4th, guess what? Your kids go back to school the 6th. On a Saturday, go and have that kind of final moment out, have some fun, go get some food, make it a good Saturday, and then you're ready.
Daylight. You don't have to drive.
Yes.
Dark.
Lee Cox
no
with
snow.
with
got
the
the
best.
hookup.
Yeah, she just have the best live read. There will be, honestly, there is no snow predicted for a while. We got a couple of weeks until we got real winter hitting Illinois.
Hooray!
Yeah, and it'll be about 45, sir, because we did the 10-day with Ray Morales on the 23rd show. So go and be a part of it. There's no rain. There's no sleet. You can just go have fun. Right. Stay in some nice heated buildings,
And be entertained.
And have some fun with it. All right, Thomas, I got to ask you. This is going to be a tough question, a very tough question. What is your favorite piece to perform and why?
Oh, that is a tough one.
60 Minutes continues.
Yeah. My favorite piece of all time to perform has to be the tenor aria from Act 1 of La Bohème. The name of the aria is called Che gelida manina, which translates to the cold little hand. And Giacomo Puccini, as a writer, has some of the most beautiful orchestral works in all of opera. And this aria has some of the most beautiful florid lines in it and some of the greatest operatic flirting of all time. There's a line that literally translates to, "In my mind, I'm a millionaire. But sometimes 2 thieves steal my jewels of wealth. Those 2 thieves are your beautiful eyes." Oh, he's good. And but it's just an absolutely gorgeous aria that's followed by a wonderful soprano aria and then a fantastic duet between tenor and soprano. But just some of the lines in that song are just so beautiful. Now, if we're going to Broadway, since we're in that realm,
that's right.
My absolute personal favorite is Poor Unfortunate Souls, just because it is so much fun to perform. It's so out of character for me, just because I try to be a nice guy in my life, when it's entirely convenient. But, being able to be that kind of slimy, nasty little something is so foreign, and it's so fun to go to,
It really is. I mean, it's fun to be bad every once in a while, especially when you can turn it off and go home and be nice again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And wasn't it in Pretty Woman that when Richard Gere took her to the opera, wasn't it La Bohème? And she cried and cried because it was my first opera. And I sat there. I didn't have the red dress. I wanted the red dress. But I was like, that's me. That's me.
Oh, yeah. It's
because
a wonderful
my uncles
opera.
used to take me to opera. I'm probably one of the few
And-
people here.
Yeah, and actually, this is another reason why that aria is such a favorite of mine. Y'all are getting some deep lore here. So back in 2020, we were just fresh out of COVID lockdowns and everything. A dear friend of mine named Benedetta Orsi, who, if you haven't heard her, she is a fantastic operatic mezzo. Look her up. She's fantastic. She calls me up and says, "Hey, Thomas, I'm putting on a Christmas concert, and I would like you to sing in some of the ensembles." I'm like, "Sure, no problem." So I go, and we go to the rehearsal. The rehearsal is the day before the show. And I see my accompanist, who I hadn't seen since pre-COVID. So I just go, "Hey, Gail, you got any tenor arias in there?" And she goes, "No, unfortunately I don't, but I remember this." And she starts playing the climax for Che gelida manina. So, me being me, in the old Basilica of St. Louis, why wouldn't I just pop a high C out in the middle of nowhere? So Benedetta was literally 2 feet from the door. She stops, she turns around, runs back down the aisle and says, "Can you sing that for me tomorrow?" Now, I only knew that 4 measures of that aria. So I go, sure. Went home, learned it that night, and absolutely killed it the next day. And the folk loved it. And after that, there was always a little voice in my head saying, "What the hell are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Go for it. Just go for it. See what happens. And if it doesn't work out, that's fine. You can always go back to the motorcycle shop."
That's right.
And, and so.
I love the magic moment. Yes,
Oh,
you
yeah,
gotta
absolutely.
Grab it. You gotta do it.
I love it. And you're going to grab that magical moment by hanging out with Thomas and Lee and everybody at Alton Little Theater this 4th day of January. God, it gets nerve-wracking in this seat, Thomas. Let me tell you, one bad date and it's all down from here. You know what I'm saying, man? Hey, tickets are just $25, and you don't want to miss your chance to start the new year off on a high C note. Oh, wait, sorry.
Give them the phone number.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, what is it? 618-462-3205. See, I even knew. Look at that. Did I even have to look at that screen time?
Well, normally you know everything, but I can tell you've had a headache. And AltonLittleTheater.org. And Michael is there right now.
So here's how you do this, too. This is how good I am. Headache, migraine for 15 hours, and I'll look at the screen. Oh, my God, my eyes are getting bad. Can you see that? Maybe it's just the screen. Maybe it's a me problem. You can sing in the new year with Thomas M. Taylor, and I'm telling you what, you call 618-462-3205. Get Michael working this morning.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Lee? Has he worked enough?
Oh, that man. He is an angel. I married an angel 54 years ago.
You did.
But have you started telling people that you are making your big debut?
Not my big debut.
Well, Elephant's Graveyard, that was
that was
nothing.
a stepping stone.
That was a stepping stone.
This is the moment.
Yes.
Here's the headline, Thomas. Because my competitor in the newspaper business is going to do this. It's going to say Nasello was Wilkes Booth.
Yeah.
Ah, nice. Look at that. Playing that character.
The character in the play is
Scum.
written as he leaps in and scares Mary Todd in her mind all the time. And I was like, who do I know who can leap? And I said,
oh, that's great.
Here, let me take a leap, Lee. This show should be sold out because I'm telling you what, you guys had the months of a lifetime. Sell out. Christmas Carol on fire. And I mean...
Well, and from Oliver on, and then Making God Laugh, and then Rocky Horror, and then Best of the Best Broadway. So
2025 is going to be an incredible year for you, Lee, I think.
We're back.
No pressure, Thomas.
You got me on here.
No pressure, Thomas. You're the first show.
I'm a workhorse. Work me to death, honey. Work me to death.
The first show of the new year, and Thomas, you have a chance to continue the sellout streak, and you're going to do it, my friend.
Hey, let's go for it, because for those of you who came to the intimate little thing and heard me in the foyer, yes, the foyer is lovely, but y'all ought to hear me in a theater.
Yes.
Get him to the big little stage out there. And I remember that line at Alton Little Theater. But I really do think, Lee, it's been such a great run, and we just got to keep this train moving. And Thomas, I know you're going to do a good job. All right, one final thing, because it is the holiday season. Thomas and Lee, what is your favorite Christmas song and Christmas movie? Thomas, up first.
Oh, favorite Christmas movie is Muppet Christmas Carol.
You know what?
That's
a classic.
Not even close to anything else. Like, that has been my hands down favorite for the longest time.
What's your song?
It Feels Like Christmas.
Ooh.
Oh,
I like that. That's not a popular, but it's a good one.
It's so
I mean,
good.
it
It's
is
so
a
fun.
good one.
Yeah, in my because recently I just got finished with basically a Christmas tour. The past 3 weekends I've been performing in different venues, and I always put that into my Christmas shows.
That's a tough one to sing, though. That's not the easiest.
It really isn't, but oh my gosh, it's fun once you get it. And of course, One More Sleep Till Christmas is always a good one too. Worked that one in for the first time this year too.
Good for you, man.
Yeah. So, oh man, that is one of my great ones. Matter of fact, I listened to that soundtrack on the way here.
No wonder he's so cheerful.
And supporting Kevin, I've been to so many Christmas shows, and for a long time, I'll tell you what my favorite movie was. There's a reason, because my father's name really was George Bailey, and I really do feel I've had a wonderful life.
Oh, that's amazing.
Fantastic.
So
that is fantastic.
I honor Jimmy Stewart every year.
That's incredible. That is really cool. Huh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're great people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Call 618-462-3205. Sorry, I was doing my Jimmy Stewart. I got to work on it still. Yeah, Hey, Theater Thursday always belongs to Alton Little Theater. They are a community staple. 92 years starting soon.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
And we're still young. 618-462-3205.
We got to make it to 100. Got to make it. I got to dance. I don't know. It'll be in heels after the back surgery, but I got to dance at the 100.
You can dance if you want to, Lee.
I can.
Take a quick break. Our holiday continues right after this in the heart of the 618.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back to our daily show as this Christmas vacation for CJ continues. Well, not really, because we are live right now with brand new conversations. And Ruby, we've been talking about this for quite some time. We have been talking about Pick One for Honor and Gabby East Alton, the Park and Recreation Department, a great organization, great department. Right off the bat, how are we doing today?
Very good.
Good.
Thank you. The sun's out, so it's a good day.
It is a good day. Well, it'll be out for another hour and 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, that's about it, yeah.
Well, right off the bat, Ruby, we've been talking about this Pick One for Honor. How did this event come about? What was the idea, the backstory, if you will, to why we were having it?
Well, the genesis really started a little over a year ago when Robin at East Alton Parks and Rec was approached by a lady that was with American Cancer Society Relay for Life. And she said that she wanted to do a pickleball tournament as a fundraiser. So we're like, okay, we can do this. So we got people signed up and we picked the Martin Luther King weekend as a 3-day weekend to do it, which worked out very well. It was a very successful event. We raised several $1,000s with the event. Yes, we did.
That's incredible.
Yes. Yeah, between registration fees, and we had raffle baskets and sold concessions, had 50-50 drawings. A gentleman from Selkirk was there, had a silent auction for a pickleball paddle. So a lot of little things came together like that, some donations. So yeah, we were very, very pleased with that, with how it went. So then we thought it was a great idea, talking to Mike Moore, let's make it an annual event. So we decided rather than just having it Pickling for a Cure, which is what it was last year, we would rename it to Pickling for a Cause, and then every year we would pick a different cause.
Cool. This is cool.
Yeah. So this year we went with Honor Flight, which is kind of something near and dear to my heart. Thought it was a great opportunity. A lot of people know about Honor Flight, so I talked to Mike about it and talked to Gabby and Robin, and they're like, let's go for it. So this year it's Pickling for our Cause, and our cause is Pickling for Honor Flight.
Well, just to follow up on that real quick, what's the personal connection, if you don't mind me asking, if I can?
My husband is a veteran, a Vietnam veteran, and we hear a lot about the Vietnam veterans. When they came back, they were not welcomed with open arms like the World War II veterans were. It was a much different time. I'm a child of the 60s. That had a lot to do with it, going through the whole process, when you're going to high school and afterwards and your classmates are being shipped off because of the draft.
Yeah.
So it's just something. I have an uncle that was a World War II veteran. So I just feel very... I just feel very strongly about supporting our veterans. And when I found out about what Honor Flight is actually doing, giving them this opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. at no cost to them, to see all their memorials, I just think it's an awesome,
it's amazing,
awesome organization what they have done.
To me, it's every veteran should have the right to go and see those memorials that they fought so very hard to earn. I 100% agree with you.
Right.
Well, and I just think this is it goes hand in hand really, because pickleball, in my opinion, is about community. And I see that driving down Stamper Lane in Godfrey, driving into East Alton and seeing the Kiesler Complex in action and all the courts that are around the Metro East. And to kind of do it this way, where it's pickleball, it's a great sport. It's a very active one that I'm not good at. Still, I am learning. But it's also one where you can have the opportunity, while other games are going on, to have a chat about why we're doing this. And it really kind of brings that community feeling together with Honor Flight. It's a great pairing for this.
Right.
Well, Gabby, this had to be a no-brainer decision, really, for East Alton, I think, to go ahead and do this. But also, it seems like in East Alton, the mayor's office and Robin and all the folks that are around, Darren too, doing a great job of letting Park and Rec be Park and Rec.
Yes, yes. I am very thankful for our mayor. He does so much. I mean, he's offered so many free different programs that we're allowed to do. We had the summer camps and stuff. We had junior pickleball over the summer, and then because pickleball is, it's huge right now, right? It's so big. So our rules are with the Riverbend group, it's 18 and older, so that's why we have that open gym at nighttime and stuff. But there were some kids that we found that also want to get involved with it. So we're actually doing a junior pickleball over Christmas break. Their kids ages 10 to 17 can come.
What date?
They're going to be on the 23rd, the 27th, the 30th of December, and then the 2nd of January. We were trying to fit it in over Christmas break, but not, overload the kids, too much. So it's from 12 to 2 on those days. I have more information on our Facebook page.
Do you have to sign up for the entire series, or is it a day?
You can pick a day, or you can sign up for all four, however you want to do it. We're just trying to get more people involved in it. We're thinking about maybe eventually starting family nights where people can come play with their kids, and it's not, all adults that are there, because that's... those adults, they get competitive, they are very, very good. So
Rui doesn't know what you're talking about.
She has no idea. I hear them on Mondays, Monday and Wednesdays, just, they're just yelling in the gym, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's intense in there.
You're staying away from the gym on a Monday.
Oh yeah.
And I think it goes into a bigger point too, because right now the conversation is we got to get kids off of these screens. It's got to get back to, being active and at least doing something together that's outside, that's not just tied into this false reality that we're starting to live in.
Right.
And to do pickleball is such a great family event too, and activity. It's brought up a great point. Why not learn the sport as a family and really go out there on a Sunday throughout the year and have that as family time that's healthy and enriching and also fun.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one of the very few sports that is multi-generational.
Yeah.
We have grandparents playing with grandchildren. We have parents playing with their children. So like I say, it's community and it's family, and I don't know of any other sport where you see that. They might go out on the golf course and hit a few balls, but it's not the same competition that's going on. Like I say, there's no place else you can go, and it's a quick game. It's easy to learn. It's all skill levels. Don't need a lot of equipment. It's not lugging around all your soccer balls.
Right. Yeah, I know that from experience.
Right.
Oh, goodness.
Right. Yeah. So like I say, there's just so many positives with it. It's a fast game. Less than 15 minutes, you've got a game finished. It's not, going on for hours.
Right. It's not
like golf. You go out for 4 hours.
Oh goodness! And you start crying because it's only the front 9. You got 4 more. So why don't we do this? Because we do have to take a break here and thank some sponsors. But I would like to, Gabby, if you could, let's talk about those dates and times again, just for the parents, and let's give all of them just in case, because this is going to run. Folks, that we kind of talked about this with the audience. I broke the news that I would be taking about a week off, but these are still brand new shows. So this will air on Christmas Eve. We'll run this, so that way we can get 3 or 4 of those dates out ahead of time and get everything going.
Okay.
What dates were those again?
So we have December 23rd.
Okay.
December 27th. December 30th. And January 2nd.
What times?
12 to 2.
And how much is the entry?
Free. Of course, thanks to Mayor Carlton. It's free. He's great.
Other towns better start stepping up here with your $35 registrations. That's all I'm saying over here. Hey, we'll take a quick break, but we're going to talk more about pickling for Honor Flight. It's pickling for a cause. We're having a little bit of a glitch on my screen I'm seeing here now, but that's what post-production's for. You stay there. We'll stay here in the studio right here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Was born the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with Roy.
Welcome back back. Daily Show hitting you. Oh, thank God those microphones are off. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Christmas Eve continues right here. And, Ruby, let's talk.
Oh, no, we won't go there.
Oh, no. So let's talk all about Pickling for a Cause, this time Pickling for Honor Flight, a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to help veterans that really served our country with distinguished honor. And now, Ruby, what day is this tournament?
This is on Saturday, January 18th and 19th. So we're doing women's and men's doubles on Saturday. So it'll be a full day. And then on Sunday, we're doing mixed doubles.
Really fun.
And then we actually had to add another division for the Sunday mixed doubles because it was an overwhelming response to that. So we're going to really run 3 divisions now on Sunday, so it'll be a bit longer day.
That's really cool. And now, are you still looking to fill a couple of divisions?
We still have spots in women's division and in men's. What we call 2.5 skill level, which is kind of a novice, we refer to it that way.
Okay.
And then in the skilled, which is a 3.5 skilled level in men's and women. So we're open. We'll get you in there. I don't care what your skill level is.
You'll find a way.
We'll find a place for you. It was a sellout last year, so I have that precedent to meet or exceed.
And we're exceeding. We aren't here to meet them anymore.
We are all about exceeding.
That's right. And how do we register? What's the cost?
It is $35 per person for one event, and then
incredible.
if you sign up for both, it's just an additional $5. So basically $40 for both events.
Wow.
And you can either register in person at Keesler. They have the forums there. You can register in person and pay cash there, or go online to signupville.com /East Alton /pickleball.
We will link all of that, so all you will have to do is click and go. How about that? And,
That's perfect.
And what a great way to make that affordable. And honestly, I was being tongue-in-cheek with the park and rec registration for some village and towns because they are $35, but for a tournament like this where it's out and about and you're having a cup, this is a great cost for that.
And there's going to be some really cool prizes.
I'm nosy, Ruby. You got to fill me in.
I can't give it all away at this point. But we do pay, if you will, first place in each division.
Really cool.
Both team members will receive kind of a cool acknowledgement of their accomplishments.
And now, I think that there's so many people out there, maybe are snowbirds like my parents. They like to hang out in Florida for the January month in the condo and come on back. And there's some that maybe can't. Getting surgery done, you never know where life brings us anymore. My dad just getting his knee replaced kind of brought that reality to it, Right, yeah. But how can we help? Can we donate if I can't participate? But I go, Ruby, I love this. I think what you're doing is great. Here's $5,000. Would you take it?
I would take your receipt. I would take $5,000. Yes.
We've had crazier checks written on this show. That's why I just wanted to. I really want to drive that message home too, because I think sometimes we feel like we can only help if we participate, but sometimes just being able to say, hey, in all reality, here's a couple of $100, here's $100 just to go towards this. How are we able to do that? Do we just get in touch with you?
Well, that would probably be the easiest thing, is maybe stop by the Keesler Recreation Complex down in East Alton and just hand them a check. The check should be made out to, you can either do it to Land of Lincoln Honor Flight or East Alton Parks and Rec Department. So you could do it either way, but we'll take it. That'd probably be the easiest way to do it, or they can contact me and I'll pick up anything. We're also looking for donations to use in our concession area, and primarily we're looking for pies and cakes.
Nice.
So we're going to, we put on the invitation or on the registration form, there will be pie. So, that was one thing we learned last year. People wanted a few more refreshments. We just had basically cold pizza last year. So we're trying to step up our game this year.
Yeah.
So I think Robin wants to make her famous chili.
I think so. I know we've talked about like nachos, pretzels, hot dogs, whole bunch like your regular concession stuff. So Robin's definitely, if you've ever had Robin's cooking,
you're in for a good
come just for that.
experience. Yeah, that's right.
The Keesler Recreation Complex smells so good every time I go down there because Robin is baking muffins or she's doing something.
Yes.
Well, it's just incredible what you all accomplish over there, and I want to wrap up with touching a little bit more about that. But Ruby, what else can we do right now to promote this? What else are you looking to kind of get out? Are there any FAQs that you've been reached out with? Frequently asked questions that you'd like to kind of maybe answer today?
Actually, it's gone pretty well. Probably the main question I always get is, do I need a partner to sign up?
Good, yeah.
And it is preferable that you've already selected a partner to register because taking single registrations and then trying to find a partner leaves us hanging, possibly.
Yes. Yeah.
So, if that would be the best thing is find your partner, go online, get signed up. Go from there. And also, I just want to acknowledge a lot of the restaurants in the area have already donated pies, cakes. So any restaurant,
you don't even have to worry no more.
It's there, but any eating establishment out there that would like to donate a pie or a cake that would either be sold by the slice in our concession or it might be used as a raffle prize as well.
Can I point something out?
Absolutely.
You are a great Ruby goes, hey, can you give me the background of how this kind of interview goes? You're a legend. You just came in here you didn't even look at your notepad once. That was incredible. This was fun.
Absolutely. Let's do this again.
Well, and honestly, it's just so cool to hear about the growth and really Madison County's embrace of the sport of pickleball. And like you said, and I really want to have you back on to talk about that personal connection, that multi-generational, because I feel like grandparents and my parents are in that transition where I have an older brother and my nephews are now, at that age where they're 12 and my dad and mom are getting older, but to be able to still be able to have activities with your grandkids, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I just have to say, it is multi-generational and our senior most player will be 92 years old in February.
It's incredible.
And she plays a couple times a week. She visits her family. She has 5 children spread across the country. She plays pickleball in Dallas, in South Carolina, in Atlanta, in Iowa.
Oh, my God.
So, we have them range from 18 years of age up to 92. And it's just such an awesome social experience.
It really is.
That's probably more what pickleball is about than the competitive side of it. Just the friends that you make and the community that we've established out there.
Well, and seriously, I couldn't have said it better myself, and I can't wait to talk with you again, Ruby. Thank you so much for your time. And Gabby, before I let you go, you're still in the hot seat here.
Okay.
When do we get the kiddos out to Keesler?
So you can get them out. You can call in and register or come in and register.
What's the phone number?
618-259-7411. You can call that. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, so call anytime. And if, for some reason we aren't there, if you call on the weekend, you can always leave a voicemail. But we're doing junior pickleball for them for kids ages 10 to 17 from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on December 23rd, 27th, 30th, and then January 2nd.
Just incredible. Thank you guys so much for your time today. Have a very, very Merry Christmas to all of you. With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Guys.
I got these two knuckleheads.
Sorry, man.
listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show as this Christmas end of the year rush continues right here across, well, the world. Hey, Tom Emery joins us now, friend of the show, and really excited to talk with Tom about this. Why really is Springfield the state capital? Those that live in the city of Alton know of the square, that State House Square that's up here near College Avenue, and know that maybe Alton could have been a potential suitor. And Tom, there's more to this, isn't there?
Absolutely. First off, CJ, thanks for having me. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Alton made a very significant bid to become the state capital in the 1830s. Some people in the Alton area, the Riverbend area, I'm sure know that. But it like many other things in Illinois history, and particularly the Illinois political history, it was a convoluted process. And even though Alton ended up being the people's choice, which we'll talk about later, it ended up going to Springfield, which offered the most money and the best location.
Got you. So that's interesting. And how did this process start? When was it decided that, we have to pick our state capital? When did that process truly begin?
Well, Springfield is the third state capital of Illinois, and I'm kind of backtracking a little bit here, and I hope people at home aren't saying, oh, geez, here he goes again, talking away here. But the first capital of the state had been the territorial capital, Kaskaskia. For those of you that don't know, it's in southwestern part of the state near Chester. Kaskaskia, which has a population of about 14 people today, and I'm not making that up, that is about what it is today, was a very significant town economically, culturally, and politically in the 1700s and 1800s. But in 1819, the capital moved to this newly created town called Vandalia, which is nothing more than really pretty much a wide spot on the bluffs near the Kaskaskia River. It was in Vandalia because it's hard for us to imagine today, but the population center of Illinois through that period was in the southern part of the state. Vandalia was actually part of the northern end of the population center because the residency was starting to move north. Well, the capital was in Vandalia for 20-some years, but a lot of people did not like having it there. Now, I'm not criticizing Vandalia today. If you've been there, it's a very nice town with a beautiful state house. Mm-hmm. And people are watching us, listening to us today in Vandalia and Fayette County. I don't want you to think I'm ripping you in any way, believe me.
Right.
But at the time, in the 1830s, there was a lot of dissatisfaction with Vandalia. People thought it was dirty, was not particularly hospitable, and there was movement by a number of different cities, including Alton, to see if they could entice the state capital away from Vandalia. So this started in the mid-1830s, really. In 1833, the Illinois House authorized the selection of a new state capital, and that's where this story begins.
Why? Oh, sorry about that, Tom. Let me...
Oh, you're fine.
3, 2, 1. And Tom, why? What was the decision? Was it just needed? Was it just time to? Was it just one of those things? It was just time to really decide on that state capital. What was the driving force behind that? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, not at all. Vandalia at the time was not seen very well by some people in the state, and again, that's unfortunate because I think that is a great place today. But the current state capitol building, which was the one before the State House that sits in Vandalia today, was in pretty bad shape. It was thrown up in a hurry after a fire in 1823. It had heavily sagging floors, bulging walls, and some people refused to go in there because it was a safety hazard.
Wow.
One modern writer called it, and I'm quoting here, a ramshackle aspect, and that's for the town itself. So they got thinking, well, the state's progressing. Now we've been a part of the union for about 15 years. Let's get this capital out of Vandalia and let's take it somewhere else.
Right. And so, I just find this process so fascinating. Was this, kind of a morale booster, or one of those things where maybe multiple, towns like in Alton, like others that, tried to make the pitch? Was it a unifying message for some communities? Like, hey, let's come together. Let's get the state capital here.
I think so. And the prestige of having a state capital, as well as the money that comes with it, was certainly an enticement, was a draw. The people really wanted to have that. For example, Alton had the booming river trade. It had 2,000. It's an interesting number. Its 1830 population was 2,222. That's actually one of the largest cities in the state. Well, the idea of drawing the state capital to your city is really a boon. So that's why Alton and others wanted to try and do it.
Wow. Well, and as the process started, what did the newspaper articles at the time look like? Was media playing a part in this at all, or was it just simply a coverage map?
They were playing some of a role, but there weren't a whole lot of newspapers in Illinois at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those don't even exist today. The ones that did have the newspapers were trying to push for it. But newspapers were playing, it was more of a political thing than a media thing in my point of view, although I'm sure people may disagree, but to me it was a political thing.
And why is that, Tom? Why did this become such a political conversation? Because to me, especially in 2024, what I'm just thinking of things that we're dealing with, in our current situation of affairs is the state capitol really a partisan issue? But I guess it really was back then.
And it drew some rather strange proponents. Each of the towns, we'll talk about the towns a little later on, seemed to have a proponent, had someone who stepped forth and said, hey, let's get the capital of my city. Let's get the capital in this area. So if it was in some ways a partisan issue, but also became more of a pride issue as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, and who became the proponents for the prospective cities? How did the finalists, if you will, or the main players, the main advocates, come into play in this?
Well, let's start with who the main players were, because those are some interesting cities. Alton jumps in. Like I say, Alton being one of the largest cities in the state, that's not unusual. Springfield, which had only been founded in 1821 and only had 600 people in 1830, jumps in. Peoria, Jacksonville, and you wouldn't think Jackson would be, but Jacksonville in 1834 was actually the largest city in the state.
Wow.
With a mix of culture, economics, and politics that few other towns or cities in Illinois could even come close to matching. Vandalia tries to stay in. The current state capitol building in Vandalia today was put up in an effort to help the city keep the capital, to build a new building. That's why that was there. Now, here's the one place that was really unusual. Some people said that Illiopolis, and for those of you that don't know, Illiopolis is a small town between Springfield and Decatur, just off I-72, is in the mix, but also an unspecified location which is called, and I'm quoting this, the geographic center of the state.
Whoa.
That spot is a matter of debate. Some people think the Illiopolis and the geographic center were the same thing. So you got
Gotcha.
Springfield, Alton, Jacksonville, Peoria, this geographic center of the state, and the incumbent, Vandalia, who are all going out for this.
That's well over a hand. I mean, you have seven main players in this conversation. And was there one that kind of started maybe getting a little bit ahead of the pack earlier on? How did this start to wind down? Was it one of those things where like Alton jumped out of the gate of people wanting it, and then Springfield kind of snuck in, and maybe Peoria did? How did the race for this kind of run in?
That's exactly how it played out, CJ. Just how you said it.
Really?
In August of 1834, they took it to a vote of the people in a non-binding referendum to choose the next state capital. People could say who they wanted this next state capital to be. The legislature didn't have to go along with it. It was just a non-binding, it was advisory. Turnout was light. Fewer voters, like 7,000 fewer voters cast a ballot on that than had voted for the governor's race that same day.
Wow.
At the time, Illinois had their elections in August. Alton was the winner. People of choice. It edged out Vandalia by 427 votes. Springfield was a close third.
Wow.
So the people wanted Alton.
Wow.
Based on that.
So, and now, this is where I find this fascinating, because with the non-binding referendum, I'm sure people at the time think, wow, this is exciting. The people have spoken. Hopefully they listen to us. Did the elected officials receive this non-binding referendum with any type of weight or levity to it? Or was it just kind of one of those, well, they were able to exercise their right and we're glad they did?
I think it's more probably the latter more than anything, because the proponents pretty much seemed to ignore it. Stephen A. Douglas, who was originally from the Jacksonville area, is pushing for Jacksonville. He thinks that's bring it to Jacksonville. Got the people, got the culture, got the geography, bring it here. Lincoln who is from the New Salem, Petersburg area, he's pushing for Springfield because then the capital is literally his backyard. So they may be thinking about what people want, but they're also thinking about what they want.
Well, and you know, that's a very interesting point too. And I've been just kind of doing on my own just a little bit of, you know, some reading about, you know, the start of the start of our country and, you know, the placement of Washington D.C. And, you know, those questions that kind of seem like obvious ones really become poignant, like the transportation issue in the 1800s, comparatively speaking to now. You know, I'd much rather, you know, maybe walk 5 miles than travel by horseback, you know, 115 to get to the Capitol.
Absolutely. That's one thing people are thinking, because now you can hop in the car if you're living in the Alton area, go to Springfield in about 2 hours.
Right.
Well, back then, that was a 2-day trip, and the railroad's not come to our area until about 1852, 20 years later. So this is a bigger deal. The transportation becomes one of the calling cards for all the candidates vying, because Alton's got the Mississippi.
Right.
Very important. Peoria's got the Illinois River. Pretty important. Jacksonville does not have a navigable river. Springfield's hoping the Sangamon River is going to be navigable. For those of you that have seen the Sangamon River, that's just laughable today. You think that you can get a steamboat up that sucker, but you know, they tried without success. So Springfield's thinking, well, we got the river. We don't know if we can navigate yet, but we're sure going to try. And of course, Illiopolis is kind of out there by itself, and this is not that unusual, because look at American history, a number of state capitals put in largely uninhabited areas that weren't really that well developed. A good example is Lansing, Michigan. And here's something else for thought for you too, CJ. Of the 10 largest cities in the nation, only one is a state capital, and that's Phoenix, Arizona.
Really?
Yeah. So, you know, people say, well, why isn't our capital in Chicago? Well, that's not that unusual. That would be somewhere else. And keep in mind, if you notice, Chicago was not vying for this, mainly because in the 1830s, Chicago was a little more than a glorified fur trading outpost.
Really?
So,
Seriously?
I mean, Chicago's not even a real player at the time.
That's incredible. And now, my question is, because that's such a good point, you know, that you brought up there, Tom, with, you know, like Lansing, Michigan, you just brought up. Because to me, you know, one thing that I don't think, and I don't know too much about, you know, early Illinois history, but one thing that I was learning about, you know, just the building of our country was going to the grid system and how we built our towns. And did that come into play with why maybe some didn't want to go back to maybe a location that was already set up so they could, quite frankly, literally build their own capital for efficiency?
Oh, I'm sure it did, and that's kind of what happened with Vandalia, because that was pretty much built. That was pretty much just a small settlement in the woods near the Kaskaskia River. So that was kind of the thinking there, that they built their own. And you know, if you think about it too, CJ, Alton in 1835, 1836, really makes perfect sense for a capital. It's very logical to see why people wanted it there.
Right.
You've got the river, which is a main source of transportation, period. We think now Alton would be out of the way in southwestern Illinois, but where the population center of the state was, that was actually pretty close to what you needed to have. Had some more people there. It was one of the largest cities of the state, so we kind of snicker and say, well, Alton being capital. Well, in the 1830s, that was quite logical.
You know, and that's really where I find this so fascinating. You know, Tom, this is where my mind wanders, but I want to get to that wandering portion here in a second. How long did this campaign for the location of the state capitol, that finalized spot, take?
It took about 3 years.
Wow.
Because it ended up being decided in the 10th General Assembly. And as you know, CJ, we don't exactly have a very nice political history in the state of Illinois.
No.
You know, the idea of corruption in Illinois, I always laugh at, because that goes back 180 years. That is nothing new, believe me. But the 10th General Assembly was the most star-studded political body, I think, in Illinois history, because it had legislators such as Abraham Lincoln, Stephen A. Douglas, James Shields, a future senator who challenged Lincoln to a duel on Alton, as most people know, James Semple, who founded the town of Elsa, Edward Baker, who Lincoln named his second son after. It had a host of future governors, U.S. senators, congressmen. That was probably the most star-studded body in Illinois politics.
That is incredible. Honestly, that is incredible. Not to cut you off, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and that's where this decision is going to be chosen. the next capital. That's one of the things they do. Now, they leave a rather checkered political history because they voted for internal improvements, which was a massive infrastructure program, which the state could not afford and didn't even have the manpower, the supplies, or anything to do, and put us in that and putting us in a financial hole that in many ways was worse than what the state's just experienced the last 10 years or so. So they didn't exactly leave a great legacy, but they are, some big-time names there. Well, they're the ones that end up voting on where the next state capital is going to be. And in early 1837, the voting is held in the legislature. Springfield makes the best offer. They donate land as well as $50,000 to construct a new capitol building. In the 1830s, that's a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it ends up going for four rounds voting for it decided. And I'm not trying to bore anyone with this. In the first vote, Springfield goes way to the front. Vandalia and Peoria are tied for second, way back. Alton's in fourth, so it's still running pretty well.
Wow.
Yeah, Jacksonville's is in fifth. They're not doing too bad. I should also mention that a few other towns, I don't know how hard they campaigned to be the capital, but a few other towns are getting a handful of votes. Carrollton, up in Greene County, got 3 votes.
Really? That's interesting.
So there's a handful of other towns. Decatur got a few votes. Springfield continues leading on the second ballot, but guess who's in second place? It's distant, but Alton moves up second.
Wow.
Alton stays around on the third ballot. They're in third place, while Springfield jumps a few more spots. The fourth ballot proves the last one. Springfield clinches a bid with 73 votes. So Springfield would end up the capital would settle in Springfield on, of all dates, July 4th, 1839.
Was that coincidental?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
I never thought it was. I think it was ceremonial more than anything.
Well,
but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, was there any repercussion to this? Were folks offended that their voices, weren't heard in this binding referendum? Was it one of those that was still such a celebratory moment that the good kind of outweighed maybe the negative thoughts on this? What was the reaction immediately to this?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the reactions for the towns that didn't get it were really ticked off. Vandalia in particular was very upset about it, and I guess stayed upset for a number of years. Now, here's one thing that has been bad around by Illinois historians since. Some historians have accused Lincoln of trading votes. You get this. Lincoln was part of a group of legislators from present-day Menard and Sangamon counties called the Long Nine. There was 7 representatives and 2 senators. They were called the Long Nine. One of the reasons they were called the Long Nine is because collectively they were 54 feet high. They're
oh, God.
Yeah. Now, think about this. With collectively 54 feet high, Lincoln was 6'4", so some of those guys had to be shorter than 6 feet, but I digress. They are one of the legendary groups of Illinois politics, the Long Nine. They weren't together for very long. They were only together for really part of a session. But some people said that Lincoln and his Long Nine associates were pretty much trading votes, promising towns railroads under the infrastructure plan, whatever, to try to get votes to go to get the capital Springfield. Thomas Ford, a governor who was elected in 1842, and Thomas Ford's probably one of the best 2 or 3 governors we've had in our state's history. He became an acclaimed historian. He said that Lincoln was log rolling. That's a quote. They were just trading votes left and right.
Wow.
Since Lincoln denied that himself, and since a number of historians have debunked that notion, so I don't know that Lincoln really traded votes, but there's no question that Lincoln won that in Springfield. And I will say this for whatever it's worth. When Lincoln ran for president in 1860 and 1864, Fayette County, which a Democrat anyway, voted against Lincoln both times. Now, that may or may not have had anything to do with him at the Capitol, but there were some better feelings about it. We know that.
Well, and see, Tom, this is where I just find this so fascinating. And only one can, and I'm not one to kind of ponder what could have been, but, what, in all reality, do you have any thoughts of what the state would have looked like today if the Capitol was not in Springfield? Let's just say it was in Alton.
Well, I think one thing that Alton would have enjoyed, and Alton would end up being one of the largest communities in the state for a number of decades. They were still 10th in 1860,
wow.
And they were 19th in 1890. So they were still one of the largest communities in the state. But if you think about this, and other people probably debate this, but in my view, Alton's population would have steadily risen. It would have been more of an economic powerhouse. I think the political pull would have been remarkable, and there's just so many things that would have went with it. On the flip side, I'm sure some people out there thinking this, and I've thought the same thing too, with Illinois' checkered, sordid political history, all the problems that come with Illinois politics may have been centered in Alton. So there may have been kind of a negative thing, so you never know what that would be. And I'll say something else too. I've wondered too, because the voting was just a few months before the Lovejoy tragedy, which unfortunately really followed Alton around for a long, long time. I wonder how that would have affected things too. Had Alton been chosen, would they have been able to retain the capital based on the fallout from the Lovejoy tragedy?
That's a very interesting point, Tom. And before I let you go, I know that we're short for time and we can talk about this for hours. I really appreciate it, Tom. How long did it take for the construction of our state capitol once this was going? I know that you said July the 4th, but I couldn't get the years right. How many years did it take to build?
They moved in 1839.
Okay.
And the capitol, I believe, was unfinished at the time. And I will say, as postscript, CJ, there was still an effort in the 1860s to try to get the capital out of Springfield. They tried this again, but it was not nearly as active in the 1830s. Jacksonville made a bid and others, and there are some people, because I'm from Carlinville, there are some people that believe the fabulous Macoupin County Courthouse was started in an effort to try to entice the capital from Springfield to come to Carlinville. I never used to believe that, but as a historian, I've got to think about that later on, and that may well have been based on the secrecy and the deception with which our courthouse is built. So you never know. But it's just really something to think about how different the landscape of Illinois. It's a very good choice of words you had. That how much different it would have been, and how much different the Riverbend area had been had the capital been there.
And before I let you go, Tom, my final question for you, again, a pondering one in a way, is why? How come? When did the transition, or when did the movement of state capitals really start to cease and slow down? Because I don't think we'll see something like this for a while, or probably for my lifetime.
No, I don't think we will either. Several cities had in the 1830s and 1840s were changing capitals. The original capital of Indiana was a little town called Corydon, which is in the southern part of the state. Iowa City was the capital of Iowa previous to Des Moines. Of course, now it's home of the University of Iowa. The territorial the capital ended up in Lansing. As a postscript, the architect of our courthouse in Macoupin County, Elijah Myers, left this area to design the Michigan State Capitol.
Wow.
So that was really the time you saw that, and by then things were becoming more settled by the 1840s, mid-century. And like I said, I don't think we'll ever see that type of thing again.
Well, and Tom Emery, thank you so much for your time. This was such a great conversation, and I always enjoy talking with you. Thank you so much. Have a Merry Christmas. And
go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to say, on behalf of all the people listening, you do a tremendous job on RiverBender Radio. We all enjoy listening to you very, very much, and you do such a fantastic job with us. So just thanks for listening today. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Hey, thank you, Tom. That means a lot to me. Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon about more fascinating things.
Have a good one, CJ.
Take a quick break. More of our daily show comes right around the corner after this.
Hang up your pretty stockings.
Oh, where's the time gone, my friends? This Thursday morning is all but gone, but just want to thank you guys for another great day to be right here in the heart of the 618. More Daily Show comes your way tomorrow, so until then, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Go out, have some fun, enjoy Christmas break with your little ones, and try your best to stay out of jail.